Drew Yorke Show, live from ISO Radio in Toronto. This is a really special surprise episode. It's a day of celebration. My special guest today is dropping brand new music today. You can go stream it right now. I'll put the description or the link in the description. So we might as well just get started right now. My special guest today is Chris LaRocca. Please come join me. What's up, man? Dude, thank you for doing this. This is
thanks
sick.
for having me. Thanks, man.
Let's talk about music first, because today is the day, you know. Tell me again, what's the name of it again? Saudade?
Yeah, Saudade, you got it. Yeah.
Okay, so Saudade. Tell me about, it's a Portuguese word, right?
Yeah.
Tell me again the definition of the word.
So it's like an untranslatable Portuguese word. So there's really no equivalent for it in any other language, or specifically English. But the meaning behind it is like it's like a melancholy, like longing or like nostalgia or missing of something that may not have actually occurred, or you may have like distorted in your memory to be like different than what had actually happened. So it's kind of just like missing something that may have been absent in the first place, so that you're not even fully familiar with. And it's kind of just like looking back at memories and getting this like overwhelming, like sad feeling, but really not knowing why, and really not being able to pin it to an exact like memory.
It kind of reminds me of something you'd like see on Tumblr. Like it's like a word, and then like the definition, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a feeling I've been feeling my whole life.
Yeah, there's like stars, like a picture, a gif of stars in the background. But I actually found it. It's funny that you said Tumblr, because I found it on Reddit. I was just like,
sick.
Yeah, just, late night, just smoked a bunch of weed and was going through Reddit, and came across a blog that was 12 untranslatable words that we wish we had in English or something like that. And the first or second one was Saudade, and I was like, at the time I didn't have a name for the EP, so I saw it, I was like, oh my god, like this is actually it. It was like, yeah, it was a Tumblr moment for sure.
That's so sick. How long has this been in the works? Like how long from the oldest song on it to up to the most recent song?
It's been a really long time. The oldest song was probably Yard Sale, which I actually wrote like at this point probably 7 years ago,
Wow.
at least 6 years ago.
Wow.
I wrote it like before I even knew how to use Ableton, before I had any like understanding of production or anything at all, before I'd even met Harag, who's like my partner in this.
It was just written.
And I had a beat that I made on like a Roland SP404, and like it was like garbage, but like I thought it was so sick at the time. And that song and a song off the EP that didn't come out until today. It's called Made You Cry. Both those songs were like from the same time period, so like 6-7 years ago, and written in the same way, with no really formal production or like even like a formal demo. Like it was just like terrible, like all around. And then when I was in LA working on this EP like last year, my drummer and like my buddy Andrew was like, what about those two songs from like so long ago? Let's like bring those back up, see what happens. And then they ended up coming back up and getting like repurposed and landing on this EP, and like two of my favorites. And then it's funny because other songs like Dice Out and Heated Up I wrote like last summer. So it was like there's songs that are written like 7 years ago and songs that are written like not even a year ago.
That's interesting. So it's like it is like a real journey.
Yeah, it really tracks the progression, which is, it all sounds the same. It all sounds like it's in the same like house, but they were just so like there's so many miles between each song, so it's weird how it all kind of like fit together.
I got put on your music from Brian Chong. Shout out to
boy.
Brian Chong.
Brian, you the man.
He was like, I think he's like putting you on like pretty hard. He like, I think sent me your music like multiple times. Like
Yeah.
It must have been like 3 or 4 times, and he was just like, yo, you need to like do something with Chris. Like his music's so sick. And then when I actually like, I think I actually still had not gone and listened to it really until I saw you at that Red Bull show. And then
True, was that 3 days?
Yeah, no.
Oh, the block
I guess,
party.
You know what? I actually did see you that like time, but I like, did not remember when he had put me on your music. I didn't remember that I had seen you before. But then I saw you at the block party like whatever 2 weeks ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that performance was just crazy, man. So
Oh,
sick.
dude,
like,
thanks.
Their light setup was so crazy, and like that was just so fire.
Yeah, it felt really good for a daytime thing too. Like playing, before the sun had gone down. It was really.
It was very epic.
Yeah, it felt really like a moment, And yeah, Brian is the man. Brian, I actually met through Red Bull thing too. I feel like I don't really know. It was kind of like, we just kind of talked on Instagram. Like he'd hit me up and said I can't remember how he'd heard of me, or he had like been watching for a minute, and then we just kind of talked and we took some photos together, and then we just became like really fast friends. And then he moved to LA to do like the murder thing, and which is amazing because it's great to see him like glow up like that. When he comes back,
I want to have him on my show. I mean, even show would be sick, but also I really want to like do some sort of like live thing. Like I would love to like incorporate like a photo gallery with a live interview to like sort of like tell the story of like some of the things he's seen, because I'm like some of the photos he's taken since that started, like there's like pictures like ASAP Rocky.
Oh yeah, they're epic.
ASAP Rocky. Pictures of like Pharrell. Like just like crazy meetings, like crazy sessions probably.
Yeah, and he's really good at capturing a moment, you know? His pictures are like, they're more than just pictures. It's like really good at capturing something. So yeah, Bryan's a man. I'm happy that he was the reason that we were able to link up.
How did music become a part of your life, do you think? Like from your earliest sort of memories, do you think of it?
Like when I was really young, my dad really put me on. Listening to a lot of like jazz records like Love Supreme and like Miles Davis Bitches Brew and stuff like that, and that really like opened up my ears at a young age. He's also listening to like Steely Dan and King Crimson and just like weird stuff, and that kind of like opened me up. And then when I started playing guitar, I was just so into like heavy music, and that's kind of where it started. I just really wanted to play like hardcore and like punk, and I did for a long time. That was like my life. But then just learning an instrument just leads to so many other things, and I started to just really realize what I like and like the things I like to hear and like to do, and it ended up like where I'm at now. And I feel like I'm still getting closer to that sound that I want, but it started from like weird abstract music like Mars Volta type stuff, a lot of that.
You played in a band, right?
Yeah,
I
played.
You probably played in a couple bands, probably not just one.
Two actually, so yeah, a couple. But only two. One of them was a hardcore band. We were called Caldwell, and like we were like super heavy. Sick. And I was like the guy that screamed and shit.
That's sick.
So like it was fire. We were.
Did you ever hurt yourself or hurt your voice while doing that?
No, I'm surprised though, because I was bad. Like when I listen back, like it really sounded like I was messing my voice up.
Yeah, you're like really forcing it. Probably.
Yeah, I was not doing it right. I was just literally yelling. So I'm happy I didn't damage my voice. I don't know. Maybe we'll see in the future. But I played in that band, and then that kind of as we grew up and our musical tastes kind of matured as well, we formed like an indie band out of that. We were called Ellis Arma, and that was actually like a very defining, I guess, moment for like my musical life, because we actually wrote some really like forward thinking like good music, and it really got me good at like guitar, good at my instruments, and like it was a good experience for sure. And we got to tour a lot and play, so like got to get that out of the way at a young age, which is good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
When did because obviously the music you're making now is like definitely not hardcore.
Oh yeah. It's like the opposite.
When did that transition happen, and what was informing that change? Because obviously like the music now like requires like a totally different level of production and songwriting than that, you know. Oh yeah.
It was really like the forming of this band. We had listened to just hardcore music for so long, like we were all really into Every Time I Die, and like a lot of like that like grittier, like nastier stuff at the time. And then I don't know, there's like other bands that were coming out that we started to like put our ears on. Like some of the bigger ones for us were like Grizzly Bear and Local Natives, and
Grizzly Bear's sick.
Yeah, they were just like a really like pivotal band. Like we just all kind of, me and my bandmates discovered this music at the same time. We're all kind of like feeling out this new world together. And like then I started buying like synths. I bought like a microcore because I wanted to like have that weird texture on our stuff.
I feel like that's when I started listening to shit like Fleet Foxes.
Yeah, Fleet Foxes, like Two Door Cinema Club, like Foals was a huge one. Fun, yeah.
Remember the Fun's old music, like before they hit that huge ass hit.
Yeah, they're actually sick.
What was that?
Tonight.
Yeah. The music before that was way more experimental. And it's way more like I felt like way more interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was cool. What's the dude in that band? He's like
I really want to go back and listen to those albums now. They're crazy.
Yeah.
They probably make me feel like I'm like 16 again or like 15.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. But like that music was so pivotal, and it was really just, I feel like, the exploration of like finding other bands to listen to. Like it really wasn't pinpointed to anything. I wasn't like, I want to do this.
And you're growing
music.
up too.
Yeah, we're growing up, and like you also realize that like you get to this age where it's like you want to play shows, or if you're trying to like bring people out, they're gonna like understand what's happening. Because when you play at a hardcore show, you bring people out, and like people are like punching people in the face, like what the hell? Like you can't bring your family to that. You can't bring your girl to that.
You cannot bring your family to that.
No one gets that, you know. So like we kind of had to like level it up and just be like, yeah, you know, let's mature this. We can actually make something out of it. And then it brought me to where I am today. So,
was that Woodbridge? That's where you grew up?
Yeah, Woodbridge. I grew up in a small town called Kleinburg, which is like encapsulated, I guess, by Woodbridge, all within Vaughan. So it's all kind of like a tiered process of like, living, but
of suburbs.
of suburbs pretty much.
Yeah.
But Woodbridge was like, we're into high school and did all that stuff.
When did you start coming to Toronto?
When I was young, like in high school, we'd take like the 360 from Woodbridge to Yorkdale. It was like an hour and 20-minute trip.
Jeez.
Yeah, and we just go and like get to Yorkdale and then subway down to the Eaton Center. Yeah. And we had a bunch of friends in Toronto and like that we met through like MySpace and shit. So we'd go hang out with them, and I was coming at a young age, and I learned like my way around the city and found all the like the spots that I like at like a young age. And my family's always been rooted down here. Like my dad owns a business in Midtown. My sister like moved out when she was younger, and she lives like in the city. So I moved here. I actually didn't live in Toronto until like 3 years ago, but I spent a lot of time like growing up.
When did it start? When did you feel like your music, even the kind of music you're making now, and when did that start sounding good to you? Like when did that start being like, oh shit, I really want to like, because you at some point you started saying like, yo, this is my music. My name's Chris LaRocca. Like here's my music, like under the name.
Yeah.
Just Chris. It wasn't like under some band name. It was just like music just made by you.
Yeah, there was a point where I was doing similar music, less developed.
SEXTAPE.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a crazy name.
But that's exactly.
That's a crazy artist name.
Yeah. It's
SEXTAPE.
terrible for Google search
It's so
engines
bad for,
and stuff.
what's like Google like the engine optimization. It's like
oh
so
my
bad
god,
for that,
terrible.
yeah.
Like absolutely terrible. And you're like, oh man, this is bad. But yeah, to speak to like what you're saying, that's like the best way to put it. When I was doing SEXTAPE, I wasn't proud enough of the music to make it my name. I was like, it's SEXTAPE, it's like it's some weird stupid internet thing, but really the moment, like the pinpointed moment when I was like proud enough of this music to put my name on is when Harag and I we made Trouble, like the song off my last EP, because we had been working on songs in the meantime and they were cool, but it was still like sex-tapey, and like that's what we thought it was and we weren't sure. But then I remember Trouble, we had like a couple different versions. There was like 2 versions at first that were like darker and like more like SoundCloudy, I guess, and then after like we just stripped it all away and took the vocal and we kind of made it this like upbeat, like funky, like feel good kind of thing. I was like, oh shit, this is like actual music now. This isn't like some like stupid like R&B project, like this is like getting real. Like the chord progression was like very like real, and that's when I was like, okay, this is like, now we gotta do this all the time, and that's kind of really where like the, I guess, thirst for like this sound started.
I read, I think it was like an interview with you somewhere saying you like listened to a lot. I think it was talking about your last, the last EP. It was talking about some of the music you were listening to at that time. And I think it was some of the artists who like, it was like Spooky Black was one of them.
Oh man, yeah. Oh man, I love him.
I was wondering if you've ever had any success like getting your music like moving in any sort of like online communities of any kind, or like using like, like you talk about like Reddit or like anything like that. It's like to like get, like if you ever post your music anywhere like that that's had any success, because I feel like that's like artists, like there's like a lot of artists now, especially like someone like Spooky Black, where it's like their music is like in online communities has done like super well.
Oh yeah, but it didn't really translate to like the other side of the music world, which is so weird.
Yeah,
like,
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Some of that first stuff is amazing, but I had my first, like with this project with Chris LaRocca, like it all comes out on like the proper stores and it all comes out the way like in a like a big, like a broader way.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to pinpoint like those little moments. There are like little niche areas of the internet where people really like it, but with SEXTAPE, that was definitely something where like SoundCloud and Bandcamp, people still buy SEXTAPE music on Bandcamp, which blows my mind. Like I'll go to my PayPal and there's like $40-50 for people just buying this EP, and it's like, are you guys crazy? Like, why? I'll just give it to you. Like, you don't have to buy it. Just in case you guys want to know, I'll just send it to you.
That's so sick.
Yeah, so it still has this like underground following, and I still get people tagging me all the time on Instagram stories, like, listen to Sex. They'd be like, bring this stuff back, and like, me and my manager have like plans to like kind of bring it back, not fully, but like, yeah, that will come at some point.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I'm assuming. I mean, he's got to be. Frank Ocean must be a huge like source of like inspiration and importance probably for you. Like when I listen to your music, I just hear that something. You must be like somebody who like has probably grown up.
Oh yeah,
you must be.
Yeah, I first heard of him on like Nostalgia Ultra. I think the first song I heard was Strawberry Swing, which is like the weirdest song to hear first from him, and I liked it because it's kind of like a weird ass like poppy like, but there's something weird about it. I was like, this guy's weird. And it's funny because Nostalgia Ultra, like, that's when I was first getting into Odd Future, and that was when I was really getting to like the kind of music I'm doing now. That's when I was really getting like into hip hop and like production and stuff. And I heard Nostalgia Ultra, and then I listened through like the tracks, and like Swim Good was like a big one for me. But I was like, there was something about him, like, I don't even know if I fully like this guy, but like there's something about this. And then when Channel Orange dropped, that was like probably one of the albums that's changed my mind the most about music, because it was like just being at the time like an aspiring vocalist, because like it took a long time to be able to like actually sing. I like really fucking sucked. Like I don't even think that I'm the best yet, but like, and I was really bad at one point. So, and even like last year, even when I listened to my first EP, like my voice has grown so much. I used so much, like there was so much like tuning on my voice on that first stuff. Not that I like requested, it was just kind of there. So it's just like, my voice is always growing. And when I heard Channel Orange and I heard like the stuff he was doing, like the harmonies and like the ad libs and just like his melodies, I was like, damn, like this is a singer, you know? And
it's just next level. Yeah,
and then that stuff we got to sit with it for years before we put out the new stuff. So it was like I got to know that music so well. And then when Blonde came out, that was like when it just fully hit. Like I was in BC and I was driving through like the mountains on the PCH, and I just listened to that album for the first time on that drive.
Wow.
And it like changed my life. So yeah, huge inspiration.
My dad's a jazz composer.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Shout out to Neil.
Sick.
But so it's like I feel like a lot of the music I show him is like not. He doesn't really impress him that much, especially anything sort of a contemporary rap music.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is boring.
What the
Like,
hell is
like,
happening? Yeah.
So, but I remember I play him stuff off Channel Orange, and he's like, oh, this is so interesting, blah, blah.
Which
this is
songs?
Crazy.
Which ones
I don't
hit
remember,
him?
But I just remember like showing, like I remember just having the whole thing on like a CD or something.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sick, man. It definitely translates to like so many different like types of people, ages, demographics. Like it's just like timeless all around music. Like I can't even remember where the situation was, but I think I was in an Uber pool and with my friends, that's what it was. And I put on Moon River, like the Frank Ocean like cover of that. And this girl in the car was like
so good.
So good, man.
Oh my God. It came on somewhere the other day and I asked my girlfriend with it. I'm like, yo, what is this shit? Like I know it and I know it's fire and I know that it's amazing. I'm like, she's like, and we were like, oh yes. Like, how could I forget about this song?
Oh,
man.
man.
It was just a single, right? It was just like a random one-off.
Just random,
Sorry,
just one-off little
you.
thing. No, it's crazy, man. It's that good. Like, it really is that good. And when I heard that shit, I went and found like the Jerry Butler like original thing at Sonic Boom, because like just like maybe fall in love with the song again. I was like, damn, like, it's just crazy. I think he did the original. I'm not even sure, but definitely have his version on vinyl now. But yeah, like he's just like, he's so good, man. It's just the way he thinks about music is like crazy.
Man. Tell me about you must have a home setup, right? That you you're like producing and like making shit. Tell me about it. Like what does it make? What makes it yours, and what makes it sort of ideal for making like the project like that you just did that is Saudade that's out right now?
Yeah. That's a great question, actually. I mean, my home studio is like pretty well equipped. I have like a really great interface with a lot of ins and outs. That's useful because I have a lot.
Just send me pictures of it when we come. We'll put it like right here.
Yeah, I will for sure. Yeah, interface right here. Roland Octacapture does a great job. And then I have it with a lot of ins and outs because I use a lot of. I'm not a big VST guy. I'm not a big like in the box. Like I feel like a lot of producers out there like they're all about like these like fucking VSTs and plugins and shit. I'm just like I just like to play the stuff and like not really think about it, treat it a little bit, and just like see where it ends up. But I use for synths, I have like Prophet Rev 2, which is like a big one. Definitely does a lot of damage. And then I have like Korg Minilog that I people have mixed feelings about, but for me it's like very trusted. It's like good little weapon to have. And then like the big one for me is it's a Korg SV1. It's like a Rhodes like stage piano. I use that on everything, and that's where all the ideas come from. So a lot of these songs were written. Like I wrote Salt on that. A lot of songs just kind of like came from that. And I also like one of my favorite little things is like I have a little like TC Helicon voice processor. It's like the Touch Live 2 or something. It's just like when I'm really lazy and I don't want to like actually put in the harmonies myself, it has like a harmony option, so I can just like put them in and like I'll do this later. Like I'll actually
put the gems, is the keys right here.
Yeah, you know, it's like you just for your own little demo. If you just want to hear certain harmonies, like really helps. Because you know you can get really carried away like layering your own voice in there for like an hour.
What about like the room? Like what about the environment? Like what about it makes it sort of ideal for like a Chris LaRocca song?
Well, like this time I was living in a basement actually near like you know where you're saying you're at right now. So like I was in that like West End area in a basement, and that kind of like it was sick because like the basement is like you know, it's like where a lot of things happen, like, from the basement,
It's
whatever.
mysterious.
Yeah, it's all like whatever to vibe. It's dark, but like I kind of hated it, and like my room wasn't very
Yeah,
inspiring.
low-key, anyone that lives in the basement like that like would say that it's good. It's not. It
Yeah,
sucks.
it came from the basement. It's like that sucks. I'm down to come from anywhere else, you know. But so now where I live, like I got windows and shit. Like it's like this. So like that's a huge thing for me because like I have my whole studio set up against a wall, and then to the left, or I guess to like whatever this side of me, I guess it's the left. Yeah. There's just like a massive window where like natural light comes in, and that's really great to have because it's just like inspiring to look outside and like see people doing things. You kind of like get a sense of where the day's going. When I was in the basement, I just like lose track of the whole day, and just like everything gets fucked. I feel like you're like in a Twilight Zone situation. But yeah, the room is really like good for that. And then I have like a massive balcony outside of my bedroom, so like it's always good to jump out there and just kind of refresh. But I did do a lot of the work on this EP at our studio, which we call the Wave Cave, which is like
The Wave Cave.
Wave Cave, yeah, like the
That's
dot
a fire
wave
name for a studio.
cave. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember who thought of that. I think it was me. So like my boys see this and they're trying to correct that, then that's cool. But I'm pretty sure I thought of that name. But it doesn't really matter because I don't pay rent there, so I owe them everything. But yeah, like Harag works out of there, and we did a lot of the work on this EP in that studio, like day and night, and some of it in LA and some of it in my bedroom, both in the West End and here. But yeah, I mean it's kind of all over the place. But the studio is definitely where it really came to be.
What was kind of stuff you were doing? Like what's I only know you as a musician, so like what kind of stuff are you doing outside of being a musician?
I have a dog like I love. I spend a lot of time with my
Sick.
dog, that's my boy's birthday today actually.
What's your dog's name?
Chance.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chance.
Chance, happy birthday, bro. So that's a big part of my life. That's where I get away from music. Like I take him to what's that park called? Sherwood Park. It's like in this area actually.
Word.
Yeah. And I always like leave my phone at home for that hour, and it's just like the best part of my day. It's just leave my dog in the
Sick.
forest.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's great. And aside from that, like it really is just music. Like I like to write for other artists. I like to write at home and I keep a folder of songs that may not be for me, but if I meet someone and I like their vibe, or if like we connect with like some artists, I'd be like, hey, check if you want any of these songs, So I like to just keep that going, and I also like to just get better at my instrument. So play a lot of piano at home, and I'm recently starting to dive into photography a tiny little bit. What's up, bro? See you with that camera, looks sick. So things like that, but yeah, it's mainly just a lot of music and my dog.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I mean, on the photography tip, I find like doing anything I think is gonna make you better at other stuff. Like I think like learning photography is gonna make you a better musician. It's funny, like you might not like there's like it won't just directly do that, but it'll just change like the way your brain works.
Yeah. Like all I've been doing is
like doing anything new is just change. I'm sure literally chemically is probably doing something to change your brain in some way. It must be.
I've always really loved just like taking photos and just like having like memories on lock like that. And sometimes I just steal my mom's DSLR and I go and take some pictures for myself, or I buy a lot of disposable cameras these days and just take like stupid ass film pictures. But like sometimes you get some crazy like vibes out of that, and it's just like it's good to have. And I'm just trying to like find the right camera to buy right now. But yeah, it's something that definitely keeps the inspiration going.
Do you know the Instagram page Secret Color Darkroom?
I've heard of that. Definitely have seen the name.
It's like somewhere in the Toronto core. I don't remember where it's at. It's like maybe college or somewhere. It's like a person that has their own dark room that just develops people's cameras. I think it's like $7 for a disposable.
Damn.
So like I'll probably get the Instagram. I'll hit you up. But yeah, it's way
Please,
cheaper to go through them than like to go through a shop, because like shops are like $15 usually for a disposable.
Yeah, it's
they
like
do it for
$15.
$7. It's like the home lab.
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, I want to hit that up for sure. I like that a lot.
Okay. I usually end these with like food recommendations. So I need like 2 good like food spots.
Food spots?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm happy you asked.
Sick.
I mean, like there's way more than 2, but like my 2 favorite right now, definitely Salad King, Yonge and Dundas. I don't know if everyone knows about that spot, but like the best Thai food, I think, for a great price. A very weird dining experience. You're gonna sit at a table with like mad people, but like it's a good time. And this one, I know my manager is gonna love this. Tacos El Lasador on Bloor.
Hey.
That's the spot. That is the spot. We go there all the time. But also in the East End, there's a spot called Descendants Pizza. I don't know if you guys know about that.
No.
It's like deep dish. I think it's not like Chicago. It's like New York dish, I think, or like Detroit or something. I don't know. It's like some different type, but it's just so damn good. Like, and it's like a big like punk influenced place. So they're always playing like just like old punk shit, and they have like just like I don't know, the inside is cool, manager's cool, food is fire. So those are some good spots.
Okay, dude.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you for doing this, man.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you having me out.
Okay. Go stream Saudade right now. Thank you for watching the Drew Yorke Show. Until next time.